I heard the man shuffle through the bedroom next to Martha's, and then I heard the man step out onto the second floor of the porch. Mariah's soft, irregular steps followed behind him. After a few minutes, I heard a voice again, but this time the man seemed to be talking to himself, mumbling without reply in a voice that sounded rusty and agitated. He was mumbling about the war. The man had invaded my house because of the war. I had to see him, to know who would dare bring that filthy business into my house, even if he was a Confederate. I straightened my dress, smoothing out the wrinkles where my lap had been, and looked in the mirror. I refused to acknowledge the face looking out at me. I went to the door, unlocked it, and walked out. I passed into the brief darkness of the hall, and then turned into the spare bedroom the man had just clomped through. I walked to the window to spy on the man without being seen. Around the corner of the window pane, a tall and sour-looking man bent over the porch rail, leaning his head out and staring at Franklin in the distance. He rocked back and forth. Behind him, so close I could almost touch her, stood Mariah. The man's voice was startling. "How big is this house?" Too big, I thought. Bigger than the whole world sometimes. It got 8 main rooms, some hallways, and the old wing where the family living now. The rest of us, we in those cabins over there. She pointed at the lattice wall at the end of the porch. I looked about me as if I, too, were a stranger. Yellow and white linen still hung from every doorway and mirror, marking the death of the children who had once lived within. My children. So weak and pure and trusting. At night the drapes looked like ghosts moving around in the drafts that broke through the walls and under the doors. Mariah had wanted to take them away years before, but I had forbidden her. "They got water close by?" "There's water nearby. There's a cistern out the side door and a little creek nearby." Mariah met my eyes, as if trying to tell me something, but I only stared at her and twisted my fingers in the billowing curtain. "Do any of you know how to bind wounds?" "There are only a few of us left, but I do believe we know how to take care of bumps and cuts." "Going to be a lot more than bumps and cuts if I got this battlefield read right." "What about Mrs. McGavock?" "She indisposed." "I mean, she know how to take care of wounds?" "I reckon she's seen her share of blood." "Well, Mrs. McGavock's gonna have to get out of that bed or wherever she is. When that army comes, I reckon there'll be dead and dying and wounded all over this goddamn town who'll need taking care of, and you gonna do some of it." I was about to reproach the man, but as I opened my mouth to speak, there was a voice behind me. "I was looking for General Forrest, ma'am." I let out a little shriek and covered my mouth as I turned to face the man behind me in the doorway of the spare bedroom. He was dirty like his commander. He was also short, thin, and a little twitchy. He cleared his throat, dusted his pant legs with his slouch hat, and peered intently at me. So that's who the man is, I thought. A general. There was nowhere to retreat, and so I stood up straight and struggled to smile, but yawned instead. I was so very nervous. "The gentleman is out on the porch, right through here." "Thank you, ma'am." The man walked past me, but General Forrest seemed to ignore him. He turned toward the window. "Mrs. McGavock, I'd like a word with you, ma'am." I had come to the window intending to confront the invader, but something about him and his voice had stopped me. He had cowed me. I hadn't realized how isolated I had become these last couple years, how few people had come to visit me, how thin my connection to the larger world had really become. Who was the pastor at the church now? I did not know. Whose boy was the latest among the dead? I did not know that either. From this back porch I had sometimes watched funeral wagons move up the pike toward town, and the only thing that I could remember of them were the most primitive impressions, the shapes of the wheels, the tilt of the men's hats, the sound of